Chapter 17, A Giant of the Mails. In the book business, January and February are the best months of the year. This is especially true of inspirational books, for people make their good resolutions the first of the year. Hence, they are far more likely to embark upon courses of study than after those resolutions have been forgotten. In selling merchandise by mail, however, we found January and February the poorest months of the year. Stores hold their bargain sales then, so it is hard to show a great enough saving between their offerings and those you can make by mail to induce people to go to the trouble of sending away for the things they want. Another little known factor in mail selling is that people will buy by mail far more readily before the season, for that product has begun, or at its very start. But once well underway, they turn to their local stores. One reason for this must be that when the time has come when they actually need a thing, they don't feel like risking any possible delays in delivery. They want what they want when they want it. But beforehand, they are willing to send for things and try them, figuring that if they are not what they like, there is plenty of time to return them and get something locally. So, accepting small mailings on leftover winter products, we devoted our time in January and February mostly to tests. Of course, we could not expect anywhere near as good results as when a product was in season, but we usually managed to get a fair indication of the pulling power of a circular by always using a yardstick, i.e., by testing against each new circular we were trying. 1,000 of the last successful circular we had used on that product. If the new one outpulled the old in this off-season, we felt reasonably sure it would do the same when the season came around again. If it did not, we discarded it and tried again. There were always plenty of products to test, for we had to be continually on our guard against old products losing their appeal, and to keep feeding in new ones to take their places. The previous Christmas, for instance, we had tested pearls and perfume, with the idea of using one or both of them for our Christmas offer the following year. Both showed promise, the perfume especially coming through with so many orders that we mailed some hundreds of thousands the following Christmas. Here were the two offers. Dear Madam, will you try this experiment? Ask your jeweler to show you a perfect deep sea pearl. Put the enclosed Delta manufactured pearl alongside it, then try to tell them apart. The jeweler can do it, with the aid of his magnifying glass. But neither you nor any other person not an expert in precious stones can distinguish the natural from the manufactured pearl. In luster, in weight, in iridescence, in color, the little pearl we are sending you will measure up to all the requirements of the genuine deep-sea jewel. Step on it. It will stand the weight of an ordinary size man. Boil it in hot water. It will come out lustrous with a soft opalescence that only a pearl can give. Weigh it. You will find it heavy, firm, indistinguishable in any way from the natural pearl, except to the expert with his magnifying glass. Most society women, most of the stars of stage and screen, have duplicates of their costly deep sea gems made up in these manufactured pearls to wear at all public functions. For no one can distinguish them from the genuine. The only difference apparent to the naked eye is in the price. And you save that big difference. In New York, in Paris, and London, pearls are the vogue this year. They are being worn for every occasion with almost every conceivable costume, with evening gowns for parties and afternoon teas, for street, for shopping. The Carmen necklace of Delta pearls from which the enclosed pearl was taken was made to sell in retail stores at $21 and is so advertised in national magazines at the present time. But if you will mail the enclosed card right away before the heavy Christmas rush begins, we will send you this famous necklace in the favorite 24-inch opera length, fastened with a diamond clasp of white gold and genuine diamond, for only $15.75. Not only that, but we will send it to you for a full week's free trial, without 1 cent of payment, to be tried out, to be examined, to be worn for a week at our risk. If for any reason, or no reason you are not more than delighted with it, send it back and you'll not be out 1 penny. Naturally, we can't make offers like this to everyone, so even if you don't take advantage of it, we should feel obliged if you would return or destroy the card. Naturally, too, you will have to take advantage of it right away, before the heavy Christmas rush begins. May we hope you will mail back your card now. Today, sincerely yours. Dear Madam, who would ever dream that exquisite Narcisse perfume so lovely that its heady fragrance will amaze you, yet so marvelously delicate and all-pervasive that it seems like a breath from the flower gardens of sunny France. Who would ever believe that such perfume could be had for $1 or less an ounce? $1 an ounce. Why, you would pay more than that for just ordinary unknown perfumes at the corner druggist perfume that would seem flat and dull and lifeless alongside this exquisite narcisse. The most delightful, the most captivating sweetness ever extracted from flower petals and imprisoned in crystal. That is narcisse. Faint yet compelling, this liquid fragrance is like golden sunshine mellowed by stained glass. The lore which enters its making is akin to the lore of the winemakers of France, a secret handed down from father to son for generations, a fragrance that intrigues you, a delightsome, refreshing fragrance unlike that of any perfume you have ever known. The essence of music and laughter, the sweetness of flowers on a dewy mom, all magically imprisoned in crystal. Graded the way perfumes are usually graded, Narcisse would retail for $4 to $5 an ounce. In fact, in the fashionable shops of Palm Beach, Newport, and Fifth Avenue, Narcisse is sold at $5 an ounce. To offer even the small quantity we have at less than $1 an ounce is such a remarkable event that we have decided to confine it to just the wives of our customers. To them, we are making this offer. If you will mail the enclosed free trial card at once, I will send you an 8-ounce bottle of Narcisse, postpaid for examination. Break the seal, open it up, and try it. At the end of the week, send it back if you are willing then to part with it. But if you don't want to part with it, send me not the $5 an ounce at which Narcisse perfume is priced in many fashionable shops, but only $7.85 for the full 8 ounces. This holds good, though, only on the small quantity we now have on hand. The enclosed free trial card must be used at once. Yours if you are prompt. At the same time, we tested a new variant of the old damaged set letter, with a view to using it the following December on whatever overcoat stock was left after the regular sale. Copy of it follows. It pulled almost as well as the damaged set letter quoted in the last chapter, so we put it aside for later use. Here it is, a few overcoats at a great saving. Dear customer, I can save you a good many dollars right now if you haven't bought your winter overcoat yet. Already this winter, we have sold 21,631 Keep Warm ulsters at prices ranging up to $48.75. Now there are only 582 of these good ulsters left, not enough to do any heavy national advertising about. Yet we don't want to carry them on our inventory until next fall. Rather than offer them to some jobber at a bargain price, I'm going to offer them to my old customers as yourself and other men who have bought raincoats, traveling bags, etc. from me in the past. At a real old-fashioned bargain price, only $24.95. In other words, I'm giving you, rather than some city jobber, the benefit of the bargain. Remember that my 7-day free examination privilege holds good. You send no money in advance. You are free to return the Keep Warm ulster if you don't like it for any reason, particularly if you don't think it's worth $40 instead of only $24.95. Certainly you can use another overcoat this winter since most of the cold weather is still ahead. Or you'll need a new overcoat this fall. Just between you and me, isn't a saving of $15 worth enough to you to get your coat right now? This is my one and only offer at this low price. I've only 582 coats left. If you are not keeping warm in one of them a week from today, you'll be the one to blame, not me. I am giving you a wonderful chance to get a genuine Keep Warm ulster now at a fraction of the regular price. Just think, for only $24.95, you can get an all-wool, handsomely tailored, satin-lined ulster that will keep you warm and well-dressed this winter and all next winter, too. Simply fill in the postcard, mail it today without any money, and I'll send your proper size in a Keep Warm ulster right away by parcel post. But remember this, I have only 582 ulsters left at $24.95. To protect myself, I reserve the right to telegraph you if your order reaches me after your own size is all gone. To be sure of getting one of these Keep Warm ulsters, send for your size at once. Sincerely yours. P.S. These 582 coats are the very latest ones made this winter. The last word in style and tailoring. Pure wool cloth, plaid back, Skinner's satin lining, etc. Then we took up shoes and socks and ties and underwear and all manner of products. From the sales point of view, there were few products in men's wearing apparel that we were not able to bring back orders for in profitable volume. But when it came to the actual sale, it sometimes developed that it was so difficult to fit customers satisfactorily that the products had to be ruled out. Shoes were one of these. Several times we tried shoes and brought back orders in profitable number, but when it came to fitting people, our orders dwindled by half. Possibly we did not have the right shoes or the proper method of sizing. Whichever it was, more than half the shoes we sent out came back. So we quickly abandoned that line. Here's one of the letters that brought in the orders. Dear sir, what size shoe do you wear? If you will pick out the most comfortable pair of shoes you have and pencil on the enclosed card all the markings from just inside them near the top, we'll promise to send you as easy fitting, as stylish looking, as comfortable a pair of shoes as ever you've had on your feet, at a price lower far than you've paid for good shoes since the war. Their style will speak for itself. They're fine leather too. But only months of wear under everyday conditions will tell you the full story of comfort and service that is built into every pair of double wear shoes. For double wear shoes are designed for comfort according to nature's own plan for the feet. There's a graceful swing to the toe. The sole rests firmly against the ground and yet flexes with every motion of the foot. The arch fits snugly. In short, they fit everywhere. Bind nowhere look like far higher priced shoes. Will you try this test? Fill in the markings from your most comfortable shoes on the enclosed card. Then see if we can't give you as easy fitting, as stylish, as good-looking a pair of double wear shoes. Regardless of what you paid for yours, costs nothing to try, and if you can get as easy fitting, as good-looking, as serviceable shoes at a third less than you are now paying, it's worth saving, isn't it? We're ready to send them to you, without 1 cent of payment, for a week's free inspection. Are you willing to put us to the test? We'll be here, waiting. Another dud was athletic winter underwear. It sounded good, and our customers evidently thought so too, for they ordered it in goodly quantities, but oh, how they returned it. And when I had tried a suit on one of those cold, blizzardy days that are so frequent in northwestern Pennsylvania, when the wind blowing down from the lakes has an edge like a knife, I knew just how our customers must have felt. And I did the same as they. I went back to my long ones. But as an example of a letter that brings in the orders, the athletic union suit letter has a right to a place. So here it is. Oh, it's great to get out in the morning. Dear neighbor, those bracing, snappy winter days will soon be here. Do you want to make them different this year? Want to get more vigorous, happy, red-blooded enjoyment out of them than ever before? Then put away those shivery BVDs or other light underwear and get Keep Warm Athletics. Remember when you were a youngster, how you used to coast and skate all day long and far into the night with never a thought about the cold? Wool, that's what did it. Only Keep Warm Athletics are not the scratchy, uncomfortable woolens you wore then. They are the finest Australian lamb's wool, with all the warmth and absorptive qualities of wool, but mixed with just enough high-grade southern cotton to give them softness, fleeciness, and strength. For the vital organs of the body must be kept warm. Cold gets to a man, unless he's amply protected from neck to knees. But nowadays, when men work so much indoors, they like to have their arms and legs free. And they ought to. Nature never intended our legs and arms to be heavily covered. Look at the animals. Their fur grows no heavier on their legs in winter than in summer, only on their bodies. Keep Warm athletic underwear offers the double advantage of warmth for the vital organs and freedom for legs and arms. And wear. Keep Warm. Athletics might be called the suits that put the wear in underwear. Just take a look at them. Costs nothing to do that. The enclosed card brings them to you in a factory unit of 4 to a box at the special direct-to-the-user price of $11.95. Try to buy their equal in stores at less than $4 to $7 a suit. But never mind what we say about them. Look them over for yourself. You'll find a new kind of winter comfort and a new way to save money by buying direct. Yours for the straightest route, the direct by mail line. Again, this was a case of adapting an idea from the book business and showing that an idea which will sell one product successfully is just as potent in moving others. The once in a blue moon announcement had been used in bringing out a book of unusual interest. It worked even more successfully in announcing a new feature on a traveling bag. For with this and a similar letter, we sold another 50,000 traveling bags that summer. There were 2 or 3 details about this giant letter that added materially to its pulling power. The sample of the cowhide was one. We found that putting it on the letter added from 15 to 30% to the number of orders. Another was a $1,000 reward featured on the last page. That created more comment and seemed to do more towards satisfying prospective buyers that the bag was all we claimed than any other feature of the letter. It worked so well that we used it later on others such as raincoats, overcoats, and the like. You will find it illustrated in a later shirt letter. While we were testing different letters on the traveling bag, and we had hit upon the successful giant form of appeal, we tried several other forms of bags, among them a Gladstone. This was a top product with us, so we decided it was another chance to try the value of that "will you do me a favor" appeal. It worked, of course. I have seldom known it to fail. So we added something like 15,000 Gladstone bags to our 50,000 sale of regular traveling bags. Here is the letter that did it. Dear customer, this letter is purely personal and does not seek business. Rather, it invites a courtesy from you, appreciating the fact that if, in your considerate way, you can help another by a simple act of politeness, you will do so and gladly. Here is the way of it. For 3 years now, we have been selling the famous Statler traveling bag direct to the consumer at a saving of a good many dollars from the usual retail price. But many of our customers have written us that they want a bag that will hold a couple suits of clothes without wrinkling, besides their clean linen, shoes, toilet articles, etc., in a size that will fit easily under a Pullman berth, and of the right weight for carrying by hand. So this spring we are bringing out a fine new Gladstone bag, made of genuine cowhide leather, so sturdy it will last a lifetime over a steel frame, with massive solid brass hardware, sewed leather edges, and heavy leather comers. But here, I believe, is the biggest improvement ever put into any kind of Gladstone traveling bag. This new Gladstone has 8 handy pockets which give you a special place for each of your toilet accessories: comb and brush, shaving set, toothbrush and toothpaste, even your shirts, pajamas, underwear, and collars. Not only does it put everything right at your fingertips, not only can you pack your bag in half the time, but everything is kept separate. Your clothes are never mussed or wrinkled. Bottles can't tip over, and even if one breaks, no harm is done, for each of the tidy pockets is rubber-lined. For anyone who wants an unusual piece of quality luggage built to endure, I don't believe he could find the equal of this new Gladstone bag for less than $30. At a very low price like $19.85, I believe these bags will sell like hotcakes. But you know how it is in merchandising. You can never be sure of such things until after you have sunk a lot of money in them. Which brings me to the courtesy I want to ask of you. I'd like to make sure of the demand, or lack of demand, before we sink too much money in this new bag. So I'm writing to a number of our own customers to ask each of you this. Will you try out one of these new Gladstone bags for me for a week? Use it. Take it on a trip. Notice its convenience, its fine appearance. See how it compares with bags that retail in stores for $30? And then write me. Needless to say, I'll send you a bag you can be proud to take with you to the most exclusive home or hotel. A bag that in appearance as well as quality and convenience will compare with any you meet on the 20th Century Limited. Just put your name and address on the enclosed special privilege card, and I'll send you one of these new Gladstone bags by prepaid parcel post to be used for a week at my risk and expense, free. At the end of a week, if you should like the bag so well that you want to keep it, you can pay. Not the $30 or $35 you are accustomed to paying in stores, but our special introductory price to you of only $19.85. Otherwise, just send it back at our expense, and in payment for the week's use, tell me frankly your honest opinion of the bag and of its saleability. Naturally, however, your opinion will be of value to me only if I get it now, when the vacation travel season is just opening, before we definitely authorize the manufacture of any great quantity of these new Gladstone bags. Won't you therefore fill in your name and address on the card tonight if you can, and mail it? On second thought, better mail it right away while you have it in your hand, so there will be no chance of forgetting it. I thank you for your courtesy. Yours for mutual cooperation. One amusing feature of this sale was an experiment we made with special delivery stamps. We filled in 1,000 letters very carefully, and instead of the usual 1 or 2 cent stamp, we sent the letter special delivery. The results jumped from the 3% we got on ordinary postage to 9% from the 1,000 special delivery letters. That was too good to pass up, so we made our entire mailing special delivery. Wow, what a roar went up! When a man is wakened out of a sound sleep in the middle of the night by the ringing of his front doorbell and stumbles down the steps to find a messenger with a special delivery letter, you can feel sure you have his attention. Visions of sickness and sudden death flit through his mind. He tears open the envelope in fear and trembling, reads a few paragraphs, and finds that the only thing wrong is that we want him to try a new Gladstone. Oh boy, what a feeling! It was a good thing most of our customers lived a long distance away, so they had time to cool off before they reached us. But distance did not cool the letters they wrote. They just about took off the hide. We did not try that again, for in the first place, on the big run our orders dropped down to 6%. And in the next, we angered so many of our customers that even double the number of orders would not have been worth the price. That summer, there was hardly a product that did not go well. Silk socks, shirts, underwear, everything we could think of in the line of menswear. Then we came into the fall and the coat season. Giant letters have done so well on traveling bags that we decided to try them on top coats as well. Sure enough, they greatly outpulled the ordinary letter and circular, so we made our big sale that fall with giant letter F. Here is the one. That did the trick on top coats. Dear Sir, I'm writing you this giant letter because I'm very anxious to get your frank opinion concerning a new product which we're just about ready to market. It's the Any Weather Top Coat. To attempt to produce a really fine-looking light overcoat of all pure wool cloth at less than half the price that top coats usually sell for may strike you as presumptuous. It did me at first, after 15 years' experience in the cloth line. Nobody had ever done it before. But along came a happy combination of circumstances, and I grew enthusiastic over the job. Wool, has been high ever since the war. Last February, it hit the toboggan. The 1st of June, it was selling for 36% less than in February. Then it went up again. We were watching it so closely that we got in almost at the very bottom. With our wool costing about a third less, if we could only cut the manufacturing cost as much, we could possibly afford to sell all wool top coats for half the usual price. The sales would be so big. And the factory tells us it can cut the costs if we'll let them gear up to make as many as 20,000 top coats at a run. So I'm writing this giant letter to you and a number of other representative men in different sections of the country to ask you this. Will you please look at one of the sample coats the factory has made up? Try it on. Wear it for a week at my risk and expense, and then tell me what you think of it. You see, I'm anxious to find out now, in advance of the fall season, how many of these coats I can hope to sell this fall. And it's on your opinion and that of these few other selected businessmen that I'll base my plans. Will you help me, please, by using the enclosed card right away? If you think the Any Weather equal to or better than top coats you've seen for $25 or $30, I'll deeply appreciate your telling me so. And I'll be further grateful if you'll give me your judgment as to what selling price I should try to figure these coats down to in order to sell 20,000 of them in a single season. 19? 18? $17? If you should want to keep the sample Any Weather after your week's tryout, I'll make you a special introductory price on it of $14.85. Otherwise, you can just return it at my expense and accept my thanks for your courtesy and advice. Will you try this out for me and then drop me a line as one business friend to another? Sincerely yours. When we came to overcoats, however, we found the giant a bit past. We had been working it too hard, so we changed back to the letter and circular and had our usual big sale of overcoats. The following is the letter that worked best. Coats that will last in a sale that won't. Dear customer, here's one of those specials that we let our customers and friends in on every once in a while. Wool, has been high ever since the war. This spring, it hit the toboggan. At the end of May, it was selling for fully 36% less than in February. Now it is back up again. But while it was down, we got in our orders with the mill for enough fine, double texture, all wool cloth for 4,000 keep warm overcoats. We tried to get more, but the mills wouldn't tie themselves up for any bigger quantity at this low price. Then during the summer, when the factory would otherwise have been idle, we had them make up these coats in this winter's new model, with its long, flowing lines, set off by broad lapels and deep patch pockets. The result is that, while in style, in workmanship, and in fabric these coats are as fine as any we have ever offered, we can sell them to you for only $26.50. The equals, mind you, of coats we have sold in the past for up to $40. And that isn't all. So sure are we of their unusual value that we will send you one of the coats themselves, in your own exact size, for you to see, to examine, to actually try out and wear for a week at our risk and expense. There is only one string to this offer, one condition of any kind. You must use the enclosed special reservation card at once. Naturally, bargains such as these will be snapped up quickly. We got only enough cloth for 4,000 coats. We couldn't get any bigger quantity without paying a lot more money for it. When these 4,000 coats are gone, the sale closes. All you have to do is pencil on the card how tall you are, how much you weigh, and what size collar you wear. By return mail, your keep warm coat will come to you, not merely in your exact size, but in the right length for a man of your height and weight. No money, no risk, no obligation. But use the card today. Cards received too late will be acknowledged with a note of regret, for we have only 4,000 of these good keep warm overcoats to sell at this special price, and it may be years before such a happy combination of circumstances occurs again. Yours, for savings. In between the mailings on these more important products, we sow out small efforts on such items as woolen socks, underwear, bathrobes, etc., most of which did well enough, but not to be compared in volume with the sales of coats and bags. To show you the limitations we'd labored under, one of the things SE tried was trunks. We got the orders all right, but the trunks were so bulky we had to ship them by freight. It was a couple of weeks in the average before the customer received his order, and by that time he was so disgusted with our service and the trunk was so worn from handling that he fired it right back to us. So we never proceeded beyond the test. At times we tried clocks, watches, and the like too, but found that mechanical defects caused so many complaints and returns that they took too much of our time. So we dropped them. For Christmas, we had our perfume offer from the previous year's test, so we merely tried a few other items with an eye to the following year. Remembering what a sale we had had on traveling bags in the summer, you would hardly think these would make a good Christmas offering, yet of all the tests we made, the following on traveling bags pulled the best results. Dear customer, what on earth shall I give him? Choosing the just right Christmas gift for business associate or brother or son is a perplexing problem. You want to put your personality into the present, to give something that possesses individuality, something that will be a pleasant reminder of your thoughtfulness for years to come. We know how you feel, and for you, we have a gift that will please any man. You know how every man admires a really fine traveling bag. Most traveling bags are just plain carry bags. You dump everything into the bottom of the bag, and then you rummage through the mass for what you want. All of that has been done away with in the new Statler bag. Along one side of the bag are 8 moisture-proof pockets for your every toilet need. Along the other are 3 long, deep pockets for shirts, ties, handkerchiefs, underwear, papers, etc., leaving the whole bottom free to pack clothing or bulky objects. It is the biggest improvement, we believe, that has been made in traveling bags in 20 years. And now a new improvement has been added, a patented, automatic lock that does away with all the bother incident to opening or closing the old traveling bag. Lock and clasp all spring open at the mere pressure of your thumb, and close the same way. They are automatic, and they are safe. For a really distinctive gift, I don't believe you can find the equal of the Statler within $10 of its price. Certainly, if the half of our customers' letters are to be believed, you cannot find it in the luggage field. So sure are we of this that we will gladly send one of the new, improved 1926 model Statler bags to you at our own risk and expense for a week's free trial. Send no money, Pay nothing on delivery. Just your name and address on the enclosed special free trial card are all that is necessary. But it will have to come in promptly, for we had the factory make up only 1,000 of these new 1926 model Statlers, especially for Xmas gifts, and they won't be working on them again until after the holidays. While these 1,000 bags last, we're going to make it first come, first served. Sincerely yours. That marked the end of a successful year, the biggest and most successful the company had ever had. It showed that the only limit to its sales was the limit of its ingenuity in presenting its sales appeal. That, and the number of names it could lay hands on of people who had bought other products by mail. And that is the end of Chapter 17. If you would like to grab your copy of the Robert Collier letter book, click the link in the description, and you will find it available in German, Spanish, and French, alongside many other fundamental marketing books. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more direct response content. See you in the next one.